Enroll Hospital spoilers. Alexis puts Willow to the test. Sidwell makes an offer while Portia panics.
Port Charles never slept.
Under the dim amber streetlights, shadows stretched across the sidewalks like the ghosts of old scandals, unspoken regrets, and unresolved crimes. Every corner of the city carried its own rhythm, its own whisper of the next secret waiting to explode. And as winter crept deeper into the town, a chilling wind swept through, as if to warn that this season would spare no one. Alexis Davis stood at the edge of the pier, sipping the last of her lukewarm coffee. She had made 1,000 decisions in her life, many brilliant, many disastrous, but none felt weightier than the one looming ahead. She could already feel the storm brewing around Willow Tate Corinthus, and Alexis knew that before Port Charles could withstand whatever was coming, she would need to know exactly where Willow stood. Meanwhile, across town, Sidwell Fletcher, the enigmatic media powerhouse who turned every whisper into a wildfire, was preparing an offer that could reshape the balance of power in Port Charles, if the right person accepted it. And at the hospital, Portia Robinson felt her chest tighten again. The panic was rising. Something was spinning out of control, something she no longer had the power to stop. Tonight was just the beginning. Alexis adjusted the scarf around her neck as she walked into the invader. The newsroom buzzed with pre-holiday tension. Deadlines were approaching, stories were stacking up, and chaos was always a breath away. But none of that mattered, not compared to the piece of truth Alexis was determined to uncover. Willow Tate stood nervously by the editor's desk, flipping through printed pages of her developing piece about mental health advocacy, a topic close to her heart, and the only project she had dared to take on since returning to teaching and nursing part-time. But Alexis wasn't just evaluating Willow's writing. She wanted to know whether Willow could be trusted with something far bigger. "Willow," Alexis said, approaching her slowly. "Before we go over your draft, there's something I want to discuss."
Willow swallowed hard. "Sure. Did I do something wrong?"
"Not at all," Alexis said gently. "But I need to know what kind of journalist, or advocate, you're willing to be."
The air shifted. Willow's brow furrowed.
"I'm listening."
Alexis placed a folder onto the desk. A sealed envelope lay inside. Thick.
"Confidential. Dangerous. A test," Alexis said. "Something I wouldn't give to just anyone."
Willow felt her heart leap.
"A test of my writing. A test of your judgment."
Willow blinked.
"Alexis, what is this about?" Alexis didn't look away. "Before I trust you with certain stories, I need to know how you handle sensitive information. If you open that envelope, there's no going back."
Willow felt the room tighten around her. "What's inside it?" she whispered.
Alexis replied quietly but firmly, "Something that could change lives.
Ruin reputations. Expose a truth people are desperate to bury.
The question is, will you open it?
Or will you walk away?"
Willow stared at the envelope, the weight of Alexis's challenge pressing down like a boulder.
Her next move would define everything.
At the Metro Court, Sidwell Fletcher sat in a private corner booth, swirling an untouched glass of bourbon. He was a man who rarely waited for anyone, but tonight was different.
He checked his watch. His guest was late. That annoyed him, but also amused him.
Only a few people in Port Charles had the nerve to keep Sidwell waiting. Moments later, a figure approached, confident, poised, and clearly irritated. "You asked for this meeting," they said sharply. "So why all the mystery?"
Sidwell smirked. "Because mystery is leverage.
And leverage is my favorite currency." His guest sat across from him, arms folded. "You could have emailed. And give up the chance to look someone in the eyes before offering them the biggest deal of their life."
Sidwell shook his head. "No."
This deserved atmosphere. The waiter approached, but Sidwell dismissed him with a flick of his hand. "Let's get to it," his guest said. "What do you want?"
Sidwell leaned forward. "I'm expanding the Sidwell network.
I want a new face, someone with both credibility and vulnerability.
Someone the public trusts.
Someone who can deliver the truth, even when it shakes this city."
His guest stiffened.
"Are you offering me a job?" "An empire," Sidwell corrected. "Influence.
Protection. And a seat at a table where real power lives."
"And what would you want in return?" they asked warily.
Sidwell's eyes glinted.
"Access," he said simply.
"To you.
And to everything you know about certain people in this town." The implication hit like a slap. "You want me to betray them," his guest said softly. "I want you to tell the truth," Sidwell countered. "The truth sells."
The truth liberates.
And the truth destroys.
The silence stretched dangerously.
Sidwell leaned back, smiling like a predator.
Think carefully, he said.
Accepting my offer means rewriting your future. Turning it down, well, that leaves you at the mercy of everyone else's secrets.
His guest didn't answer, but their pulse was racing. Sidwell could see it, and he knew he had them exactly where he wanted.
Portia Robinson wasn't a woman who panicked easily. She had survived grief, betrayal, medical nightmares, and the most complicated family dynamics imaginable.
But today her hands were trembling.
She was in her office at General Hospital, staring at a manila folder that felt like a ticking bomb. Her assistant knocked. Dr. Robinson? You have a consult in 5 minutes. Just a moment, Portia said, voice cracking despite her attempt to hide it. She waited until the footsteps faded, then locked the door and sank into her chair.
The scan results burned in her mind.
She had seen patterns like this only 3 times in her career, and each time, the outcome was devastating. If she was right, someone she cared deeply about was in danger. But if she was wrong and she sounded the alarm prematurely, she could destroy lives unnecessarily. Her phone buzzed. A message from Curtis. Everything okay? You seem off today.
Portia forced herself to breathe. She typed back. All good. Busy. A lie.
Because Portia wasn't off.
She was drowning.
And she feared that what she had discovered would rip through Port Charles like wildfire. Willow stared at the envelope in Alexis's office as if it were pulsing with dark energy.
Why me? She whispered.
Because you have been through enough trauma to know the cost of truth, Alexis said. But you also have the compassion to use it responsibly.
Willow sat down slowly.
I don't want to hurt anyone. Then don't, Alexis replied. But be aware that sometimes doing the right thing hurts people anyway.
Tears threatened to rise in Willow's eyes.
What if I fail this test?
Failing isn't the issue, Alexis said.
Your choices are. Willow hesitated, then reached toward the envelope, only to stop short.
Her mind flashed through every painful memory. Her childhood scars. Her mother Harmony's lies. Her leukemia battle. Nina's betrayal. Wiley's custody battles. Her constant fear of repeating the past. And then,
Michael's face.
She wanted a peaceful future with him and their children. No more chaos. No more secrets.
But what if this envelope contained something that could protect them?
Or something that could ruin them?
Willow's fingers trembled. Alexis, if I open this, do I have to write about it?
Not unless you choose to, Alexis said. This is not about assignments.
This is about integrity. Willow took a breath so deep it shook her entire body. Then she opened the envelope. Sidwell slid a sleek folder across the table. Take a look. His guest hesitated before flipping it open. Inside were documents, timelines, bank records, photos, and snippets of personal conversations. Where did you get these? His guest whispered.
Sidwell smiled.
I get things. This could ruin people.
It could free them, Sidwell countered. Or expose them.
Depending on how you choose to use it. You're asking me to go against them, the guest said.
My family. My friends. No, Sidwell said calmly.
I'm asking you to join the people who win.
His words were smooth. Seductive. Dangerous.
You want the world to respect you.
Sidwell continued.
You want Port Charles to stop treating you like a victim, like an afterthought?
I can give you that.
The guest closed the folder, heart pounding.
Sidwell leaned forward. So, he said softly.
Are you going to keep letting other people write your story? Or are you ready to write your own? His guest's eyes lifted in a blaze of defiance and fear.
I'll think about it. Sidwell smiled. That's all I need, for now.
Portia reviewed the scans for the 10th time, hoping, praying, that she had misinterpreted something. But she hadn't.
The anomaly was there. Clear as day.
Unmistakable. A rapid knock startled her. Mom. Trina stepped into the office, closing the door behind her. Her face fell immediately. What's wrong? She asked, voice softening. You look pale.
Portia forced a smile.
It's just work.
Trina didn't buy it.
Mom.
Portia's hands squeezed into fists. I can't talk about it yet.
Is it about a patient?
Portia nodded slowly.
Is it someone I know?
Trina asked cautiously. Portia hesitated.
That hesitation was enough. "Oh my God," Trina whispered. "It is someone I know."
Portia closed her eyes.
"Mom, is it Curtis?"
Portia opened her mouth to respond, but no sound came out. And Trina's face crumpled. Willow's eyes scanned the contents of the envelope. Her breath caught. Her pulse doubled. "This," she whispered.
"This can't be real." Alexis watched her with careful, controlled calm. "Unfortunately, it is." Willow's hand shook violently as she spread the papers out.
A timeline. A list of phone calls.
Hospital records she was never meant to see. And a witness statement about a conversation she never knew existed. Tears welled in her eyes. "This will destroy someone," Willow whispered. "Someone who's already been through enough." "Someone who has misled a lot of people," Alexis corrected. "The question is, what do you want to do with the truth now that you have it?" Willow wiped her tears. Michael deserved to know. Wiley deserved protection. And she deserved a life without shadows. But exposing this information could shatter everything. "Why did you give this to me?" Willow asked, voice breaking. "Because the truth found its way to you," Alexis said. "And you deserve the chance to choose how to handle it." Willow sank into the chair, holding the papers like they might burn her fingers.
She had opened the envelope. Now she had to live with what was inside.
Back at his office, Sidwell stood before a wall of interconnected storyboards. Names, faces, scandals, cover-ups.
A map of Port Charles's power dynamics. He tapped one photo with his finger.
"Willow Corinthus. A little bird tells me," Sidwell murmured, "you're about to stumble into something big."
He smiled slowly.
"And I love a woman at a crossroads."
Behind him, his assistant entered.
"Your next meeting is ready."
Sidwell nodded.
"Send them in."
Because Sidwell wasn't done tonight. Not even close. Portia finally spoke, voice barely audible.
"It's not confirmed.
I need more tests."
But if I'm right," her voice cracked, "it could be catastrophic."
Trina's eyes filled with fear.
"What do we do?" "I need time," Portia said.
"Please.
Don't tell anyone. Not until I know for sure." "You want me to keep quiet?"
Trina whispered.
"Mom, if he's sick."
"I know," Portia said, tears streaming. "I know.
But if I tell him now, and I'm wrong, I'll destroy his life for nothing."
"And if you're right?" Trina whispered. Portia looked at her daughter with pure anguish. "Then we're running out of time."
Hours later, Willow walked out of the Invader building, the envelope clutched to her chest.
She had made her decision. She wasn't going home. She wasn't going to Michael. She wasn't going to Nina. There was only one person she needed to confront first. Willow stopped in front of a brownstone door.
Her hands trembled as she knocked.
The door opened. The person on the other side froze. "Willow?"
What are you doing here?"
Willow held up the envelope.
"We need to talk," she said softly. "About what you're hiding." The person's face drained of color. And in that moment, Willow knew her life was about to change forever. Alexis lit a candle in her office, whispering to herself, "The truth always finds a way." Sidwell closed his laptop, smirking. "Game on, Port Charles." Portia stood alone in the hospital hallway, whispering a prayer she wasn't sure anyone could hear.
And Willow?
Willow was inside that brownstone, facing someone who could destroy everything she had fought to protect.
3 storylines.
3 ticking time bombs. And when they collide, Port Charles will never be the same.